Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Today we have a Link to the Past All Dungeons tournament match of the winner bracket round 4 between Eriror and Buane. Commentators for this will be Greenham and Apathy Duck. Take it from here.
Yo, thanks. Yeah, this is definitely a good match we got up today. I think everyone had this potential matchup circled on their calendars ever since the bracket stage come out. Buane and Ari are currently 2 and 3 in the all dungeon standings, both with low 110s, both on the 109 hunt. So this should be a really good one. Either one of you guys definitely take it. But how are you doing, Ham?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. A little tired. It's a little early, but I got a few cups of coffee in me, so we're ready to rock here. I've definitely been looking forward to this matchup. As you said, obviously these are two of the most talented runners that we have consistently playing the game right now, so should be a really fine display of speedrunning here. And also, it's kind of nice that these guys are also, pretty good friends with each other, and they talk a lot and they share a lot of strats, so there's a bit of a personal rivalry and competition here going on apart from the tournament match itself. But it looks like we are on our way.
Yeah, they started playing this game around the same time. I think around like the last NMG tournament actually, and like kind of just progressed together and have always kind of been going back and forth with their energy times and AD times and all that kind of stuff.
Are these the Bash brothers of ALTTP?
No. These guys are far too nice to be the Bash brothers. Are you kidding me? These are like
fair enough, yeah.
These are like the Hug brothers. I don't know.
I don't think either of them are doping either, so
that certainly would explain a lot. Just injecting straight into your thumbs. I like the synchronization because it speeds up escape. If we could just do that the entire time, it'd be great. But yeah, they've been neck and neck for a very long time. Both of these guys actually at one point had the world record in this category, kind of when this tournament started, and when they were grinding it. Buane took it for a little bit, Ari had it, and then Zelda remembered he knows how to play this game and got the 109, the mid 109. Zelda's still in the tournament. He's actually in the losers bracket. Had a little upset by Dow. I think most people would probably mark Zelda as still the favorite, but both these guys are playing more right now. And if anyone else is going to win it, it's going to be probably whoever wins this match, honestly, is going to be in really good shape to potentially win. Because at this point, you don't have to beat Zelda twice, since you already took the one loss in the final winners bracket if you ends up making it there.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, that'll definitely come into play a lot. The fact that Zelda is not really playing this game as actively as these two guys here is definitely going to factor into that race. Why is Doom's screen so blurry?
I think we all know.
We're all drunk.
Yeah. God, I wish.
I mean, it's like noon for you. You're slacking.
A real.
Although I guess you probably just woke up like
girl.
half an hour ago. Oh, somebody found my ult. Shit.
So I know that's a joke account because it says fangirl.
Wow. Don't think anyone in this tournament has the raw skill necessary to defeat this monster. But what happened to Buane? I actually missed it.
I don't know. I was too busy setting up that cutie burn. Yeah, a couple. Well, just a little behind. I mean, it's escape. Usually these guys are dropping pretty hot big key times, but a lot of silly stuff can happen. It shouldn't really play a big deal over the. Well, I usually say that, but these guys are so close. Like they could both be dropping really hot times in this race. It's absolutely going to come down to mistakes.
Okay, I think I've pieced it together from chat, and I think what happened is in the blue boom guard room, he boomed the key and then was too fast and got out of the room before he actually grabbed the key, so probably had to go back for it.
I hate it when I'm too fast. It's my number
one problem. It happens like once a year, dude. I have a pretty good guess as to who the fangirl is.
Is it Josh?
I mean, yes, but probably not. So what did everyone have for breakfast this morning?
Nothing.
Nothing. Been pounding coffee, and I've got a banana here. That's it.
Yeah, I'm on the coffee breakfast, liquid breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Shitty NMG run. A steady, balanced diet of shitty NMG runs and watching good players play the game. You know, sourdough pancakes. That sounds really good.
Now with blueberry balls. Six blueberry balls in every box.
Oops, all balls. That's probably not a good name for a cereal, is it?
I mean, in this generation, like,
fair point.
yeah.
Fair point.
It would sell pretty good, I think, actually. I mean, there's a water that's called balls.
Shit, you're right. Oh no, Buane missing another key.
Yeah, I mean, you never like having these problems in Escape. There's, you know, like I said, plenty of time for things to happen. But even, you know, a small lead like this, like Eri is just a really consistent player. If he decides to have a good run, you know, these seconds early on are really going to hurt.
Yo, Buane getting the rat frames though, making up a little bit of time on Eri there to catch back up, but that is a 6 flat escape for Buane, which I have not seen, and I can't even remember like last time I've seen Buane get a time like that. A 6 as the first number.
I was going to be generous and say he split late and it was probably a 59.99, but you're just going to call him out like that?
Yes, I am. If he hadn't gone for the rat frames, probably 59.
But, you know, we got the citrus clip coming up. I assume both of them are going for it. Buane could, you know, if Eri doesn't have a good one, easily Buane could just overtake right here. You know, it's something that's pretty easy to fail once or twice. Sometimes you just kind of get stuck in the infinite citrus, and in a tournament, that's obviously you can't just slam the old reset button.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things where, like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna bail out of it and then try to walk all the way around. That was a really nice citrus from Eri, though. So it's gonna be tough for Buane to save anything on that, though. It looks like he's having a pretty good one too. Nicely done. Solid entry times for both here. It looks like 110 for Buane.
Yeah, I think Buane's just he had a fewer slashes, so got in there a little quick. 110 is really. Oh, he had the rat frames, so. But yeah, 110 is still really good. Yeah,
bed sores. You can use a multitude of inputs to buffer the 1 frame movements. The idea is that you want to do some animation that takes multiple frames to complete, so that during that animation you can hit your inputs properly and then be ready to, you know, use the boom or sword or select button.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was say, when are we going to see the lamp buffering meta? You get
the auto magic buffer.
Yeah, the auto magic buffer.
It's definitely a thing. It's viable.
That actually might be faster than select buffers. Now that I think about it.
The fact that you have to change, I guess you get 1 free pause buffer right out of it, since you have to change to the lamp.
Yeah. Well, you can run Hondo.
Who would ever do that?
Idiots.
Did I see some world records set yesterday, by the way?
No, you did not.
Okay, good.
I mean, you might have been watching something else.
Okay.
No. We did have I assume you saw the hard lock, but...
Yes. Tragic.
Yeah, it's...
But
No, does it sound-
RMG is
I didn't
just
know
a really fun rule set. And I think it's opened up a lot of really interesting goal sets that people have been coming up with to play under this restricted major glitches rule set.
Like all Moldorms.
Moldorm genocide and 5 dungeons is the new meme, I think, too.
Yeah, I mean it's a really nice. I don't see a lot of games that kind of have like these tweener rule sets for glitches, but like I mean, especially in a game that's this broken. Like if you play with the full major glitches, it just becomes a glitch fest. You're not really playing the game too much, and like a lot of those glitches, it's a lot of one frame inputs and a lot of that kind of stuff. And most of them can just kind of like light the run on fire, so it can be a little frustrating. Here, I mean, there are hard locks and stuff, but like most of the clips and stuff, it's all just like, I mean, there are one frame buffers, but it's like dash buffering and that kind of stuff. It still feels like kind of like the normal flow of gameplay, I would say. And just allows you to do a lot of sequence breaking. Really, like, the NMG rule set is just so slow is the problem, I think. Like, especially when you're playing stuff like Hundo. You have to pretty much every single time you have to go through Light World. There's no way to break Light World in NMG. And so all NMG categories kind of end up looking the same. The glitch categories can kind of branch off a little bit more.
Yeah. Turns out the overworld in this game is very large, and it takes a long time to cross it. So it's nice to have these glitches in our back pocket so that we can traverse it a little bit quicker. And to that end, we're going to be getting the boots from Saha now, which will allow us to do a lot more in terms of these out of bounds glitches as we move throughout the overworld. The first of which we're going to see after the runners save and quit out of here.
Yeah, it looks like Eri's actually a little bit ahead of his PB already with a 10:22 Eastern, which is a really good Eastern
that's
time.
Solid.
But we are coming into pod. This is definitely the split that separates the men from the boys. Obviously, both these guys are excellent at this split, but pretty easily for it to go wrong in spectacular and non-spectacular ways.
Yo, shoutouts to walking on this screen. My man, Eri. See what Buane does. He's going for the quicker dash.
Yeah, he does like the risky dash, which just grates me the wrong way. Even though I'm not
pretty solid
risky.
DMAs on both sides, though.
Yeah, the main thing with a lot of these clips is just memorizing inputs. A lot of the inputs are kind of counterintuitive. You can't just like get in there and excuse me, figure it out. You just have to have them memorized, and when you do, you can tend to put them in pretty quickly and have some nice clean DMAs like you saw there. Which this DMA is one of the things that made this category a lot nicer. I mean, pod's still reset heavy with Helma, but you're not getting completely owned by dead rocks off screen anymore on a broken camera, which was just hell to deal with.
Yeah, at least you can see them now when they hit you.
Yeah, when we had this clip too, this Kiki, they both kind of came out at the exact same time. Like it just took so much of this RNG off. When they came out, I was like, oh, we don't have to deal with Boulder RNG anymore. And then, of course, this like 2 seconds were on this screen.
Yeah.
Still, I get hit at least once. Like one seems to be the most likely.
Oopsie doodles. Looks like Eri moved up to 2 frames there instead of 1, so he got the upwards teleport and has taken some abuse from no, dude. So now he's down to 1 heart and can't do the bomb clip anymore. So he's gonna have to run over here to grab some fairies to refill his health, and then at that point he's only got 1 more bomb to actually try to execute this clip to get into pod, which Buane has executed and is in the dungeon and about to reload the sprites.
There's 1 more dorm left and it's coming.
It was beeline. No, it happened again, dude.
No.
Best thing to do here is actually a hard reset, I think.
No, he didn't save.
Oh, he didn't
Best thing to do is to go to Hera.
Dang, dude.
Wow, that's really unfortunate.
This is brutal, yeah.
Yeah, there is the sword clips. He does know how to do the left sword clips. The rights are a little bit harder. You know, the safety strat is actually saving after Old Man, or if you're getting silvers, you get that free save. I haven't, especially from like the top players, I really haven't seen this tournament though. That clip has gotten pretty consistent, but like we just saw, it can just go poorly pretty quickly. Unfortunately, Ares only got one bomb again to retry this. Usually one is plenty, but he's going to be a little frustrated here.
Went to the other cave over here.
He should just go through at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you can go upstairs and then go across, right?
It's the same cave, yeah.
But yeah, totally understand being kind of flustered here because this is, as we said, a scenario that you're not typically going to run into, especially from a player such as Ares caliber. But these things do happen to everyone.
Yeah.
So if he gets this, that Moldorm dude is just being. I think he did it again. Oh no. My heart goes out to him. This is so tough to deal with.
Yeah, I was saying before, this is the match everyone had circled on the calendars. This is the problem with this category, is like a lot of these really hype matchups. A lot of times, just something happens to one player, and this is what happens. Buane has a pretty commanding lead at this point. Even Helma death at this point. I mean, you can see Buane on his way to Helma right now. Eri not even in pod, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I think he's just going to go through Hera this time now, and actually just finish the dungeon, which is going to give him an extra heart container. He'll actually grab some bombs throughout here as well. So after he finishes this dungeon, I would expect him to go back into pod. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one to come back from for sure. Buane's going to have to make quite a few number of mistakes in order for Eri to have his opening.
Yeah, it's just real unfortunate. Yeah, and especially once it starts happening, like you get tilted a little bit, and
oh, for sure, yeah.
Meanwhile, Buane's having a pretty good pod too. He had a 23 statue, got the swag boom.
Yeah, really nice turtle party from Buane as well. Got full hearts rolling into Helma here. What you like to see? Is Buane a sword out guy? I can't remember. Yes, he is.
Yep. Yeah, sword out is a little slower, but if you miss even one hammer without sword out is going to be faster overall. Which is the main. I have trouble. You have to do 17, so it's really easy to miss one.
That was a really well played fight by him. He had an opportunity to go for the fireball despawn there, but just wanted to break the mask so that he could start getting the phase 2 hits in, and was able to do so really nicely while still avoiding all of the fireballs. So really solid fight from Buane.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Eri just going for early bomb jump still.
Yeah.
I honestly thought, like, because he's so short on bombs here, he might even just get it the casual way, just to stock up on bombs, because he's still only gonna have one after this.
I think his mindset here at this point is probably just, well, I don't know what his mindset was there. Probably just being flustered from everything that's happening, which is completely understandable. But I think he's just probably gonna try to play just completely balls to the wall and go for everything that he possibly can, because I mean, what has he got to lose at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the counter argument is he needs Buane to make a mistake at this point. So like,
yeah,
if he piles, let's say if Buane dies to Vidi or something, he can't dig too big of a hole and still take this, because this is unfortunately significant at this point.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, it's not like frames are gonna catch him up.
Yeah,
he absolutely needs Buane to do something here.
Well, technically the runners are in the same dungeon at this point. But Ari will be leaving now, and I would assume running down to Kiki Cave in order to go for this clip again. Let's hope that the Moldorms are a little friendlier this time around and give him some space to actually just do the damn thing.
Yeah, and he's only got the one bomb. It's just
Mm-hmm.
when he got nerves like that. There, he got it there.
Okay, we in there. Back on track, and with an extra heart in this dungeon, which is kind of nice. Suppose it's not. It doesn't do anything. I guess it doesn't do anything for Hama, but
it doesn't matter. Yeah, it will let you.
At least you can say you have it.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're worried about taking damage from other things, it can help. But you know, Ari's not really worried about that. It was one thing when we were coming up to Tortor, I was like, can't you just do Hera first for safety? It's like, nope, it's just 6. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab some more coffee real quick.
Right on. So the advantage that Buane is going to have here in Hera is the fact that he does have the hammer already that he got out of Pod. So he will be able to dispatch with Moldorm a little bit easier than Ari was able to.
All right, I'm back.
Ari's making his way through Pod here. Things going well so far. Back on track. Ari had some struggles on getting into Pod from the Kiki Cave and ended up running out of bombs, so had to go into Hera. And then, unfortunately, messed up again and then just decided to do Hera. Nice early bomb jump from Buane there. And the chest turn. That was a lot of gaming happening in a very short period of time.
Yeah, I think the one thing we learned from this tournament is you can have really good matches, but you know, because Pod is so early, this does happen. This has happened in more than one match where you know, it's one runner takes a pretty significant lead in Pod just because the other player had a disaster, and then it's kind of just on the other player to see if they make a mistake later on in the run. But like the next couple segments, Buane's got to go through Skullwoods or Thief Sound and Skullwoods are pretty consistent. I mean, even if you die here, it's only a minute. It's not going to close the gap fully. And then you kind of have the gauntlet at the end. Like deserts can kill your pace. It's not really going to kill your run, but like Mire and then the rest of the dungeons can absolutely kill your run.
Yeah, for sure. The volatility of this category is kind of a double-edged sword in the fact that it means that almost anyone can win any race that happens, but it also means that sometimes the races just kind of turn into this, which is unfortunate, and nobody even the racers themselves. I know, like when I was racing everyone, I was rooting for people to not die at Helma. You know, like obviously it gives you a pretty healthy lead, but I don't think anyone wants that. I think most of the people who are in this tournament just want to put on a good show and have a good race. So. But despite the fact that Ari is quite a bit behind at this point, we're still going to see, I'm pretty sure we will see a lot of excellent gameplay coming out of him, so there's definitely a lot to still watch on his side and a few strat differences between these two. Oopsie doodles. little boomerang iframe strat to get through the turtle, that's what we'll call that.
I did that the very first time I got swag boom because I was so excited. I just boomed the.
Yeah. Ooh, Buane's on 3 hearts here.
Yeah,
he hasn't hit the hellway yet.
Yeah, there's definitely can just decide to kill you. Like, it seems to decide to kill me a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely a ton that can still happen. We're still very early on. A lot will have to happen, but it's certainly a possibility, and it's kind of happening already. Buane down to 2 hearts here does get a really nice RNG in the hellway, hits the God Pixel, so gets through there cleanly. So he's got to be really careful around these grasshoppers, though, because one hit from them will kill him.
Yeah, just decides to go ahead and smash that cricket instead of doing like a left slash or something.
Mm-hmm. Yikes. Gets the RNG where he has to slash the grasshopper out of the way too. Where's the trivia? At Anders likes chicken. Well, they're definitely not called crickets.
What are they called? I don't know.
I think Doom is actually right that they're all called buzzes. Ooh, that was some rough RNG for Buane to deal with, but handled it nicely.
Okay, I got a trivia question.
Oh no.
What country won the very first FIFA World Cup in 1930?
I think it's supposed to be relevant to Link to the Past. Or at least Zelda. Okay, fair enough.
Oh,
Brazil.
Fifth season lame got it correct. I smell Google.
Nice. Who's the first player to 111 in this category?
Josh living in the past, seeing his world record slowly slip away.
I will be right back. It's all you for.
I assume it's Zelda then, Josh. Although the fact that it's a trivia question makes me think it's not. Who else had a 111? Oh, I was thinking of the 110s. Oh, okay. No, Buane is on his blind fight. He grabbed a heart at some point to get back up to 3 hearts. 3 is, I mean, blind 99% of the time. You don't take any hits. 3 is generally pretty safe. You can, you can slip up and just kiss blind. Does 2 hearts damage. So 3 is always nice to have because you can take the one additional hit. So I think, Buane's probably just making sure he doesn't make any big mistakes to let Eri back into this one.
Wow. I mean, say what you will, but the gameplay was really fantastic to watch.
I'm gonna let that one slide. I've got a host of comments I could be making here, but
Yeah. This is neither the time nor the place.
which usually doesn't stop me, to be fair. But
I'm so proud of you for restraining yourself in these scenarios. Alright, Buane is doing the free and easy double quick warp setup here for the book retrieval instead of doing the slightly riskier but slightly faster frog door, which I totally understand. Just frog don't. But that is one of the silliest dashes you'll ever see in this game, which gives you a good camera alignment for the quick warp there.
one of the silliest, I have to make a correction here. One of the silliest dashes that save time.
Yeah, okay. Have to make that clarification always now from this point forward.
We've seen some pretty good silly dashes. Alright, Eri just walking through prison. All the horse heads just letting him through. Maybe the game is taking pity on him.
So, Buane, despite his small struggles early on, is actually on a pretty decent run here. It's only like +3 after Thieves Town, it looks like, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, his the one reason he's behind is because of his escape. His escape was +10. So he's on a pretty good run here. Although that, I don't know what the hell that fence dash was. That was the most baby fence dash.
I don't think. I'm pretty sure he just doesn't go for it. That is him bailing out of even going for the fence dash.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Two inputs at the same time, I guess.
I know we're not supposed to root for horrible things to happen to someone, but that is an affront to God.
It looks like Eri has kind of settled in now, though. Now that all that silliness is behind him, and is playing pretty solidly at this point. So hopefully he keeps that up.
I was just saying, it turns out Eri is pretty good at this game. You know, it was basically 3 minutes. He's behind 3 minutes basically from one mistake that just snowballed, and it's one of the places that it's really hard to dig yourself out of. The game does not give you a lot of bombs early, so it's a very one-way street.
Ooh, Eri is going to go for Frog Door here. Wants those 20 frames. Let's just hope that he doesn't press the button early.
Wow, Dow. Not even playing his race yet.
He's just supporting his predictions, that's all. If you're not playing to win, why are you even playing? Victim.
Yeah, I mean, we basically have the battle of the plot armors in the Dow versus Andy match coming up. Also should be a good one. Dow just getting the 111, Andy with a 112.01 PB, which he's been threatening to not only 111 but 110 every run.
Buane got ripped off there.
Yeah, when
Nice,
Moth kind of gets in the corner like that and the conveyor going the wrong way, there's just not much you can do. Just by looking at it, it seems like Buane is playing a little bit on the safe side, even though he's in, kind of like that PB range. For very good end game, he could potentially 109. But maybe just, may want to just win the match more than get the 109.
Yeah, definitely could be.
I mean, just so much has to go right for him to get a 109, and then he's... God, could you imagine if he got the 109 with a 6-minute escape?
I would absolutely love that.
I know, you would...
I would use that. Great. I would be pointing to that for years to come. It looks like he saved time in that Skull Woods, too.
Yeah, even with that Moth. Yeah, Buane has made the comment that, no one's best Skull Woods time is in their PB, just because of how much dumb stuff is at the end of this category that you have to kind of get through. Buane now in what he likes to refer to as the pace killer, if not the run killer. Generally, I mean, it can go badly enough to completely... You can die here. I've died on Death Mountain from Dead Rocks before, which is impressive. Yeah, it was bad. Look,
I'm sorry. That's good. But yeah, these squirrels can definitely be rude, and there's a lot of them on the way to this clip that Buane is about to do to get down to Zora's Domain. Yeah, this overworld is very involved and tough, and you can lose a lot of time here. It's a lot of clips right in a row, and then we got to get into the Mire area.
I got to show you my my Dead Rocks from my run yesterday.
Oh yes,
Hondo.
please.
Oh, it was glorious. Yeah, Buane getting through that top overworld. It's probably definitely there's not a lot of overworld in this category. We're pretty much seeing the bulk of it right here, and we kind of just condensed all of the overworld crappiness of NMG and just put it into one segment, into one super mega ultra crappy part. But yeah, getting through this, he's pretty much only got to get through the clip. Buane doesn't do the bomb clip. He is the founder and leader of the Protestant Church of the Spin Clip.
Reverend Buane.
He should just go for the bomb clip here just to screw with me, honestly. This is also something Buane would do. Just
yes, 100%. And I would support this endeavor. Right, Ares in his moth fight now. Going for some poke dashes up here. Moth is just hugging the top, but he does get that poke dash in.
Yeah. So I mean, despite all of Ares, Ares is about like 3 minutes behind his PB right here. Yeah, Buane does mess up the Smith clip low. Gets his second try. Getting it like just in space like that is actually pretty difficult.
It's very tough. Yeah. Where? Okay, we're good.
In fact, as I thought you had to do it that way, so I pointed out you can just line up on the pixel and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for calling out Azra in the chat like that. It amused me greatly.
Yeah, because Azra has never called out a single person in chat in his life.
That's fair. That's fair. So yeah, Buane having a pretty good desert. Just really the little tiny flub on the spin clip there, but only wasted like probably not even a second. So having a pretty good segment here. But yeah, it's definitely in the point where the Vidi deaths for guys of this skill level, especially in this category, because you get the extra heart or you get the refill. Pretty unlikely. That's about a 3-minute death. Cold Stare is also kind of unlikely just because you have more health than you would in NMG, but if he gets away from you and you get bopped, you can get bopped like two or three times in a row pretty quickly, and that would be another about a 3-minute loss.
Mm-hmm. I guess the other thing we would probably be looking out for would be the Ice Palace wrap, which is a little bit of ways away from here, but definitely another spot for concern where something could go terribly wrong on Buane's side and he could lose multiple minutes.
Yeah, honestly, depending on how Buane is, he's only +1 over his PB right now. If his Mire and Swamp don't go very well, he may just bail out of it. Just if he's not on PB pace, he just might take the knee and walk.
Yeah. At which point, health actually does become more of a concern because you're foregoing the refill that you have just gotten from Swamp. So you are playing a little bit safer in terms of avoiding the potential hard lock on the wrap, but you do have a little bit less health rolling in there, so Cold Stare becomes more of a concern at that point.
How do you have less health? You just mirror.
But, wait, what was I thinking of?
What are you talking about?
I was thinking of saving and quitting, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna shut up and drink more coffee. That's what I'm gonna.
Sometimes like the quip goes poorly and you get like soft locked, and then you have to save and quit. I think maybe that's what you're thinking of. But if you just decide not to quit, you'll just mirror. Aerie showing off the bomb clip there. That is the optimal strat, although it can go very poorly very quickly. But so can everything else. That's why I just kind of like decided to bite the bullet and go for that one.
Oh man, I guess I'm an SM main now, so I've forgotten everything about this game already.
And I said I was going to be too, and then I decided to start playing Hundo for some bizarre reason.
You're an idiot, Duck.
The lore of free world records is
This tracks.
strong. I think besides like maybe like a cold stare death, the other way Eri ends up catching up here is, you know, it's pretty easy for Meyer to go pretty poorly, to lose even like a minute just from, you know, missing some of the clips and everything, and then maybe like, you know, some issues later on as well. He could just, I mean, he could just slowly. It's not actually out of the realm of possibility to lose 3 minutes in this end game. That just makes it so tough.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot going on in this minor segment. It is quite the gauntlet of clips that have to be executed well.
Buane said, always says sub 40 torches, 110 pace. So he's on really comfortable 110 pace right here.
Oh,
despite the practice before the run, unfortunately not getting it. That's a weird. Maybe he didn't have the spin speed state. I know.
Yeah, considering he just fell off there.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to hold left there to get it. All right, we're gonna keep an eye on this. I'm sure Eri's just gonna tell us whether or not he got it already. Keep an eye on this creepy, what this desert was like.
7, 8, 9.
Got
5,
it.
10.
5, 10 desert palace. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Spicy. That just honestly that impresses the hell out of me. Like to deal with the issues that he had early on, because I know like when I make mistakes like that, I get into this terrible funk afterwards, and it is so hard to recover from that and actually play well. And the fact that Eri is able to do that is just insanely impressive to me.
Yeah, I used to be more when I was, you know, kind of like coming up a little bit more. Like, I had more of the mindset of just go for golds over, you know, PBs and just let the PBs happen.
Mm-hmm.
That has gone away. You know, especially as my golds have gone away. They're few and far between now. For me to gold segments, it has to be pretty good. And like I always go like, oh, let's just have a good rest of the run, and then it's just like every segment's plus 20, and I feel like perfect. So yeah, God, I wish I could just scoop Eri's brain out and put it in my head.
Terrifying, but I take your meaning.
That counts as a compliment, by the way.
Ooh, interesting fire rod miss there from Buane. And Fox did point out in the chat that looks like Buane had a few struggles with maybe the bomb clips. Oh man, he is getting beat up here in Meyer 2-2.
Yeah, this is what
this is a concern.
Yeah, this can. I was saying, you know, Vidi defs are pretty unlikely. He should still be fine here. I mean, he could just. If he just slips up a little bit, it's not too difficult to take a hit from the laser here, and then he won't even be able to go for the. Yep. Okay.
Oh wow! Not even gonna fall down the bridge to take that that heart there, which I can't really blame him for.
I think this is Buane officially taking the knee. They had just a little bit too much go wrong there for 109 to really be a thing anymore. So because he's got such a commanding lead here. Like I said, just if you took that hit from the laser, all of a sudden the zero cycle becomes effectively impossible. So he's just going to preserve his health, make sure nothing bad happens. Just going to look to finish out this run, hopefully move on to his next opponent. And as I said before, you know, Dow did end up getting the upset on Zelda. So Zelda is in the losers bracket now. So if you know, both these guys are the besides Zelda are the favorites to win this thing. winning this match really important because you get to you avoid Zelda until the winner's the final match. If that ends up getting there, doesn't get upset again.
Nice spooky action glitch there from Buane. Six hearts for this Vidi fight, so he should feel fairly comfortable throughout it. You technically really only need 4.5 to do the intentional iframe strat that he's going to be doing here. Okay. Doesn't get any weird RNG from the right side eyeballs, so yeah.
Yeah, once you get pretty consistent at it, as long as you're fast enough, you just tend to beat the right side eyeballs, and it's not really a concern anymore.
Yeah,
it's
usually
a
when
pretty pilot fight once you've done it as much as these guys have.
Yeah, for sure. Usually when I see it go wrong or when it goes wrong for me, I'm like a little bit slow in either getting up to the first spin or like in between the spins or something. And if you get to that right side of the eyeballs, not at the right time, they can definitely move out and bop you on the head.
Yeah, you kind of need a combination of sloppy movement and bad RNG for it to go.
I think Buane goes for the fast exit here. Let's see if he can beat the fireball. Got the pixel, clips in quickly. Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Not going for the good hop though. Shake my head.
Nope. But doesn't get lotteried.
I get lottery, that's true.
I don't know if they're correlated at all, but
when I first started doing the good hop, I felt like I was going to hit it a little bit more, but that's kind of gone away. I think it was just a run of bad luck when I was first trying it.
Really, really smart bomb pickup there from Buane to grab that chest of 3 bombs. He was definitely short. So really, really good pickup there.
Yeah, well, he's short if he does bomb in Ice Palace bomb with 4. Like I go into Ice Palace with 4, so I would have been fine with my strats. But yeah, it just depends on what you excuse me, what you want to do. You also always have the option of, I mean, at this point, there's a lot of backup bombs. There's, you can just teleport Ice Rod Cave to save a bomb, and then you can get a bomb in TR, and then there's also the GT bombable floor. So bomb count here is actually, you can be pretty low and be okay. Most obviously having the 1 bomb into the TR bridge.
Yeah, and just wanted to mention that area. You got a really nice 0 cycle cleanup there on Vidi to avoid the lightning. Had left an eyeball there on the left side, but was able to get back over to it in time to finish it off and get into the second phase of the fight. It's a nice save there.
Yeah, since his, I mean, he didn't split on Pod or Hera, obviously, because of the mess-ups. But after Thieves Town, he was plus 311, and his Thieves Town was fine. So, but like since then, he's saved 7 seconds. Actually, he's gonna be saving more. So yeah, saving 11 seconds. So he's, literally the only thing that's gone wrong in Aries' run has been that clip. And like you were saying before, the fact that he can have something go so wrong as that and just have like good segment after good segment is just really a testament to his mentality.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's probably fair to say that Eri probably has the best mentality in this game. All
right, so Buane in his Argus fight now had a really, really nice diver down on the way here. Very excellent 0 cycle. This has been a pretty solid segment for Buane, looks like. Let's see what his catch time is here. 2:58 segment timer.
I don't know if there's something wrong or something right with my brain, but I cannot understand Aster's puns anymore.
I think that means you've transcended.
There's been 3 in a row that I just don't get. I'm still trying to figure out what upshot meant. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah,
But it's even better that you didn't realize it. All right, so I'm really curious here what Buane's gonna opt to do for Ice Palace. Sometimes doing a safe backup strat can actually cause you more issues than just doing the strat that you're used to doing, but
it's pretty hard to screw up mirror and walking though. Like you take damage.
hey man, you say that, but I have a clip I can show you of the person who tried it for the very first time in a race was like, oh, I can totally do this on the fly, and then was an idiot and mirrored way too late and took a lot of damage. No, it's me. Buane struggling a little bit here on the mirror transition, though. Had to miss the left and Y a few times, so I had to transition back.
Diagonals into it. What a...
That's so scary.
I hate that. It just drives me nuts.
Oh, he moved to the right? Oh, that was really interesting. It looked like he was a little far left when he did the initial bonk on the wall there, so he actually just moved right into his bomb placement to put himself on a good coordinate for that bomb clip, so really nice backup there. Okay. Did you get the infamous, or famous, I guess, Buane setup for the icebreaker? It doesn't look like he did, but pretty nice nonetheless.
Yeah, I watched his video and he's like talking about like sub-pixel manipulation in the previous room. I'm like, I'm just gonna run into the wall. That seems easier.
Just pray. Wow, 520.
I don't even try to stop on the... I just kiss the wall and come back because I'm on Kane already when I do it. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trade-offs there. Like the Kane strat is technically the fastest, but again, you lose the menu if you like it for icebreaker. And like you only to only pick up one magic, you only have one shot at icebreaker, and then you only have 2 additional ones before you're in real trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So Buane dropping his coals there. This is pretty much the most likely place that this race could get flipped on its head. You can see Eri just going into his Ice Palace segment. If Buane does die here, this is going to be effectively tied. But has a perfect one.
Yep, no such luck there. Eri can make up a little time if he gets this mirror wrap first try, which he did. And diagonals into the transition, giving Duck a small heart attack. That's a good point, Yoho. Buane skipped the blue mail. He's gotta go back for that.
Honestly, with his lead, like it wouldn't have been the worst idea.
Yeah.
It is, you know, people, once we had icebreaker, we saw it in a couple of tournament matches.
Yeah.
Grabbing blue mail. The thing, it's in such a weird spot. Like Turtle Rock isn't that scary, right? And then you have the optional backup of grabbing hearts, and then GT you have the backup of grabbing the hearts. So, and a lot of stuff in GT does 1 heart of damage no matter what, because it's a lot of spikes and stuff. So it's just in a really weird spot to get, but it is definitely a viable backup now if you want to get it.
I know the Saban was a big proponent of that and used it throughout his tournament matches. It's just cool to see. I mean, it's nice to see palettes that you don't see really in any other run. And I think the blue mail looks the best anyway.
Yeah, I was about to say a lot of people think the blue mail is the most stylish, and like you never see it in like any besides like the very meme 50% runs, because all the hundo runs require just having the highest upgrade. So in hundo, people just pick up red mail, and you pretty much never ever see blue mail in a speedrun. Yeah, Eri
saying that his 1 frame inputs today are not on point, which is totally understandable given that it's 1/60th of a second. It's a tough window to hit.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically him struggling a little bit with one frame inputs. Cost him 3 minutes in this run. So just if you're a day where you're just not on it, then you're gonna have a bad time in this category, unfortunately.
Buane, fortunately didn't get the mirror transition there, but luckily he is doing the good setup to where you just get an immediate mirror bonk there and get sent back to the Dark World so you can reattempt it. You don't have to wait out the mirror animation.
Yeah, Buane actually didn't get hit by the laser. He got hit by the beetle somehow. Because he didn't take that much damage.
Interesting. I looked away and missed it.
Yeah, I really thought he got hit by the laser, and I was like, wait, he's got way too much hearts for that. Oh, wait, no. He refilled.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
The only thing that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before with these tournament matches. When you're in a position like Buane is, where he's got a very commanding lead, a multi-minute lead, sometimes the best thing for you is to no longer be on PB pace. Because you can kind of just do the really safe stuff. You're not worried about PBing. You just have to finish the run without dying, more or less.
Yeah,
so
just finish the game.
Yeah, play it as safe as possible. But he was on 109 pace. He would definitely be, kind of motivated to go full out, and then obviously much more risky to have things go wrong.
I definitely took the old man refill on T-Rock in a few of the races that I was on, just because it was more so like a situational thing, and kind of like the situation that Buane is in here right now with his lead. Oh goodness, going for the down left RNG there to get the double spin, but takes a hit from the pokey, so he's now down to 2 hearts. I
guess good thing. I mean, yeah, even like I was saying, Buane played sloppily enough and Aries been playing good enough that death would have even there'd be 2 screens behind right now. Very
close. Yeah.
I mean that's pretty much the place you really don't want to die in Turtle Rock. I think even taking a Trinix death, you get back relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's still about a minute, as I can attest.
Yeah, Fox. But, oh, damn! I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he also took.
He took a laser, but didn't get the refill.
And just do a spin here. One spin here will prevent you from taking any damage. He can get bopped by the Zoros still, though. Unfortunately, it's actually really hard to get one. You gotta get bopped by the laser and get bopped by the beetle.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess I think he got hit by the helmet. Is what happened.
Yeah, I don't think we can fault any runners for being cautious in a race setting where all you have to do is win the race. But obviously in an RTA setting, that would definitely be more cautious than I would expect anyone to ever be. But for races, it just makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, in Buane's situation where he just has to avoid any major disaster. I know, like, Eri has done incredibly well in this race. He, Buane had a little slop in Mire, which really let Eri kind of catch back up. So Buane didn't even need a major disaster, just needed like a medium disaster. So very good on Eri, giving himself the best chance to win this.
Mm-hmm. Yo, nice chest turn. Get your links W's in chat for Eri.
It's like Eri's trying to take you up on that offer, Ham.
Yeah. I mean, we just need a majority ruling from the admins, right, for that to be valid? Yeah, Buane going to take the refill from the old man here too for Ganon's Tower, which really doesn't lose as much time as doing it for Turtle Rock does, because you get to do a slightly faster strat in the second floor of GT, so you will be opting to do that.
One of the first times Buane played this category, he skipped the old man refill. He didn't know what to do on floor 2, so he just went for it. What are you doing? And then he just he had a good GT, and he's just like, I don't, it's fine.
Why does everyone complain about this? This is so easy.
Yeah, he's settled down a little bit in his. I guess once you start grinding this category, you realize it's kind of a bad idea.
Holy moly. Eri has saved 26 seconds between Skullwoods and Swamp, which is incredible. Especially because, I mean, he has a really good run to run against in the first place, so...
Yeah, his run's
just crazy.
What's a 10:03, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty nuts. Like, if he didn't have those problems, this would be... He'd be on 109 pace, honestly.
So the spike freezing is a result of a few rooms back. If that Stalfos jumps and throws a bone at you, I think if the bone is still on screen or if he's still in the air, that spike will freeze in that spot. Which gives you a free spike skip. All right, so Eri understandably did skip that old man refill. Ooh, was going for the quick and GT clip there. Almost yeeted himself, but recognized that and was able to reset it up and get it. Watch Buane's ice moves.
Eri is in GT while Buane is in GT. Either a death, which is far more unlikely now with Buane getting the refill, or the GT despawn. We'll pretty much put Eri in the lead. Eri's done when he needs to in this race after that early mistake. Just staying on Buane's heels, basically letting him be in position to take the lead if Buane does make one of those mistakes. But yeah, like you said before, I don't think Eri is rooting for that to happen. Eri's a good competitor, but doesn't want to see anything terrible happen. But if it happens, he'll kind of take it.
Yeah.
Maybe not the way he would want to win, but I don't think he'll be too upset. Buane showing off another one of his classic Buaneisms there.
Yeah, don't see too many people doing that jump off strat in that spike trap room. But I think originally the first place I ever saw that strat was Joe D'Amelio, I think. Does he not quick hop for a timing thing, I guess, to help avoid some enemy or a spike? Yeah, maybe it changes the timing. We'll have to get Buane's breakdown of that strat.
We don't.
It's not that bad. Ooh, pretty nice gauntlet from Buane here so far. Gauntlet is where things can definitely get a little hairy, but he does have really, really solid amount of health at this point, so I think he'll be comfy throughout here. Ooh, unfortunate RNG from that first Lambo there. Just heading down to that bottom left side there.
So speaking of going for it, Eri is going for it.
Oh, yes, he is. Holy moly.
5-heart
GT climb incoming.
From a strategic standpoint, doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. If Buane is going to have a major mistake, Eri's just going to comfortably take the lead at that point. So strategically, I think it's almost better for Eri to play as safe as possible, and just if Buane makes a mistake, then he wins. If he doesn't, then he loses. But I mean, I guess theoretically he could catch up just enough to be put into 15 blue ball range or something.
Yeah, maybe maybe that's all he's trying to do here. But yeah, I definitely see both sides of the argument there.
I mean, he's closed the gap by about a minute. You know, it was about 3 minutes behind. He's really only about 2 minutes behind now, having a pretty good run. And Buane having some of those mistakes.
Unable to squeeze past that BMOS there. Takes a hit. Down to 3.5 hearts at this point. Misses the arrow. Oh, this is where things get very, very tricky. Is when, oh gosh. This is the bane of existence of a lot of any percent RMG players once you get into that room, because you just have to pray that that arrow hits the Stalfos, and if it doesn't, you're going to have a bad time most of the time.
I think Ari's been going to because he saves a fire rod shot, which allows him to skip the pot pickup at the very end.
Okay.
But like that arrow shot is just so inconsistent. Like it seems like I don't know. It doesn't seem like a great thing to main in these categories. Like I mean, we both said it. Like in this game, consistency is so much more important than pure speed, just because there's so much RNG and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Eri did get a 1-cycle landmo fight. Look at this lineup on Aga 2 for Buane. Just perfect, getting the triple. Oh, come on. Oh, come on!
So mad. So mad.
Holy crap.
I
mean, nice fight from Buane and everything, but...
I've seen this happens every time in the tournament. Where, like, the player that's ahead is the one who just gets gifted the RNG.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, Eri winning from some ridiculous RNG on Buane's side would honestly probably be me even more upsetting for Eri than if Eri won because Buane like died or despawned GT or something. Like,
oh, for sure, yeah.
Buane's fault technically. If it's just
yeah,
RNG.
I don't think anyone really wants to win that way. It feels pretty empty. I mean, you do still have to play the game, I guess, for that to even be a possibility to happen, but yeah, it still feels pretty cheap.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen any. Like I know we've had ones that are like tied or virtually within like 4 or 5 seconds. And maybe one player got one more blue ball or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, I haven't seen any like 20-second comebacks on RNG or anything like that. Pretty much every match that I've seen where the person who was ahead in RNG ended up winning. I think the only one was the very first one, the Owase Andy match. And Andy's ended up still winning that one because Owase missed the 1-on-1. But that would have been an RNG overturn.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting that we haven't, throughout this entire tournament so far, we haven't seen any match like that, which I think was kind of some people's concern about a tournament like this, where the category has a lot of the RNG loaded towards the end. But yeah, it really hasn't happened. So
yeah, I mean,
turns out the game is hard.
Same RNG as NMG. It's just like it's so much more obvious here, you know.
Right.
Especially when you're PBing, it's just like, especially at these guys' level, it's like your runs are just buying lottery tickets. That's all they are. And then you just, you know, you need the Aga RNG and the Ganon RNG. Even the Ganon RNG, I think, feels worse here because it's right after the other block of RNG as opposed to like NMG, where I mean it's still obviously a thing, but also that Aster pun I understood and I'm very upset about it. Buane moving into his Aga fight here. Yeah, I mean, Eri, you know, Buane is. I mean, I can use. They're so close PBs. I can use their plus minuses to figure out the gaps here. Buane is about 1.5 minutes over his PB. Eri is just. It's like 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So, you know, Eri was a 3-minute gap, able to. I guess not really close the gap because he kind of stayed even with his PB. It was more Buane having some struggles, but he took it from a 3-minute gap to a minute and a half. Yeah, like that is really impressive.
Yeah, style. I mean, that's possible, but it's also it's not the game. It's not the original game that we all play, and it also restricts people who just have console. Um, that the fact that you have to create a ROM for that, so people who don't have an SD to SNES or flash card wouldn't be able to participate, which kind of sucks. So we just say, everyone has to play the same game. We all have the same, same odds and probabilities that we have to deal with. So it's still a quote unquote fair race, And yes, there's tons and tons of RNG outside of blue balls and warps that these players have to deal with. So locking that sort of RNG kind of takes away some of the skill expression from the players, and just would result in a more boring race IMO.
Yeah, I think everyone who plays this game just knows they have to deal with it. Eri checking to make sure he's actually in the Agate fight.
Oops, all
Eri,
maps.
your nightmare is true. You are in the Agate fight. Meanwhile, Buane is in the Ganon fight.
Yeah, absolutely, Chalmers. It is part of the charm of this game and why we all keep coming back to it.
Yeah, and this Ganon fight is also pretty safe because you get the free refill. Generally, players aren't going to be dying here. Actually, if you're so used to playing this fight without beams, a lot of players will just go ahead and kiss Ganon or kiss a bat to get rid of them because they're annoying. Point, getting the torch glitch. Just has to finish off these spins, this phase 4. Oh, I wasn't counting. I am assuming that's 6.
Yeah, it's got to mean 6, right?
Yeah, and Buane is going to, Buane had his plus a minute and a half. It turns out when you have a low 110 PB, that's still a mid 111. So very good run from Buane here.
Nice run, Buane.
He'll be heading in here shortly. Just going to get through his victory mash. Full disclosure, I did pick Buane to win this match. However, I did pick Eri to pull off the full Phoenix and rise from the losers bracket to win this tournament. So it's looking good for me.
Yeah, it's the scenario I'm rooting for now. I would love to see that. Well, that's true, Dow. This was not a 110, so we can't. The 39 torches, not a rule anymore, I guess.
Boy, I broke that rule a long time ago. But yeah, we are now joined by Buane. GG's to you, sir.
Hello, gentlemen. How's everybody?
GG, nice run.
Thank you, thank you. 6 flat escape is exactly how you want to start off a tournament match versus Eri, right?
Ham called you out. I said I was going to give you the benefit of doubt and said it was a late split and it was a 59.99.
Well, I did sacrifice the sub 6 to get wrap frames, so that's
what
me.
I said.
Yeah, there. Well, yeah, very, very good run. So, like, besides Ham was definitely rooting for you to get the 109 with the 6 up until about Meyer.
It was a possibility until Meyer. Yeah, that was one of the worst Meyers I've had in a pretty long time. Basically, if it could go wrong, it went wrong. So that's on me. The rest was okay, except for not being able to mirror wrap at all. That was pretty. Made my T-Rock and Ice Palace kind of look like shambles there.
Yeah, I guess the main, we've said this during a lot of term, but when you're on PB pace, even if you have a comfy lead like this, you tend to keep playing for a PB. Did you change like your strategy at any point? Like, did you change like what you were doing? Like, I know you got the TR refill, right?
So I didn't mean to get the T-Rock refill.
How do you do that on accident?
Because I'm
You think you're a G-Tar already?
So I was thinking to myself, wow, I'm insanely lucky to have a lead, because I was checking in on Eri a couple points. I was like, I don't know what happened, by the way, because the first time I checked in was after Helma. I was like, okay, I killed Helma. I had that really bad escape, so I'm like, let's see how far behind Eri I am. And I tune in, and he's in Hera, and I'm really confused. So there was
I'm really far behind.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I guess it was a worse escape than I thought. But I was thinking after how bad Meyer went, and actually it was during Meyer that I was like, I'm gonna save this heart by not falling off the bridge and eat the 15-second time loss so that I have a little bit of insurance if something goes wrong in the basement and Vidi and stuff like that. So that's when I started thinking about it. Once I did that, and obviously after Meyer, the pace was blown up, so who cares? I was like, I'm definitely going to take the hearts for GT. So when I respawned Old Man for T-Rock, I was just like, okay, concentrating on like how to do the Old Man refill, because I never get the Old Man refill. And like as I was walking up to him, I was like, this isn't right. And I tried to dash out and just talk to him. So I ended up needing all of the hearts though in T-Rock.
Yeah. It's a good thing you get.
Yeah, we were sitting here. It's like, well, it's like, I guess it's a good thing he took it.
But yes, that so was a little too safe. Like the GT heart's fine if you have a big lead, but the T-Rock hearts, a death in T-Rock isn't even that big of a deal. So you don't have to play it super. I mean, it depends on where it is. Usually
in certain
like
spots, it can be. Yeah.
Like if it's on Laser Bridge, if you get hit by a laser and you just say, okay, whatever. I guess in this spot, if I hadn't taken the hearts and I got hit on Laser Bridge, I'd probably just grab the key and then Death Warp or something like that.
Yeah. For sure.
But it's a truism in this game, right? Well, when you start doing your regular strats, it's just everything is worse, right? Like, so maybe I should not have checked on Eri at all, and maybe this would have been the 109. Who knows?
Yeah. So you didn't see what happened to Eri because you said you checked in.
No, the first time I tuned in was in my Helma cutscene, so I was so at a loss for what even could have happened. Was it just like an issue with Kiki skip?
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Welcome, Eri, by the way. GG. Congrats, dude.
Hey, Eri. GG, man.
Yo, GG.
One frame inputs, Eri.
I don't know. In the entire year that I've done runs of AD, like specifically, I've not failed Kiki skip. Like since the tourney got announced and stuff. And I started practicing today, and like I had issues with Icebreaker and Diver Down, so maybe it got into my head a little bit. But I had no issues with Kiki Skip even during practice. And just this run, I have no idea. It kept being 2-frame inputs, and it was just
inputs, and you got pulled by the like. I think you just got the nightmare scenario where it was like, because everyone does a 2-frame input once, right, and then you just kind of reset up and do it again. And then you got bullied by the Moldorms, and then probably a little bit of frustration setting in, combination of that kind of stuff. But what happened is he failed Kiki skip twice, got bullied by the Moldorms, had to get the fairies, failed it again, had to go up to Hera, failed it again, and then just did Hera. And
that was a mistake, by the way. Like, I really think you shouldn't do Hera, because you're gonna lose the time from like the saving quit after bot, and you have to clip back into Hera anyway. So you're losing a lot more time than just going back into Hera, grabbing the bomb, and doing Kiki skip again. So once I was doing Hera, I was like, damn, this is a mistake. I really shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, I know. Like, Glenn at one point said, "Oh, if you mess up Kiki, just do Hera." And like I did that in one run one time, and I had a decent pod and a decent Hera. I looked at my splits and I was like plus 40 seconds. Like, what the hell? Yeah. Like, it was so bad. I was just this doesn't make sense. I think he had a different way of doing it. Like, you were supposed to do like the mirror DMD or something, which is the actual way to do. I don't know, but I've done it before. It's terrible. Yeah.
There are so many backups like that, that just never come up when you're playing. Like, if I fail Kiki skip really hardcore 2-3 times, I fail it, the next dungeon I do is escape. So Who knows? Who knows what the right play is really supposed to be in the moment? Like when I took that extra hit in Meyer, I was like, "What the heck is the backup if I want to save a heart?" And I'm just running around like an idiot trying to save one heart, and wasting 20 seconds. There's so much that can go wrong so rarely, and most of it is just a reset when you're playing the category. That it's so hard to ad-lib in this category, where in other categories you can ad-lib a little bit less costly, I guess. But
a year ago when I was in the relay and I was doing all dungeons, like I did the save and quit as like a marathon, quote unquote marathon safety, to preserve bombs to reset. But like since then I've gotten a lot more consistent at it, and like I haven't really seen anyone do that as a backup in like for the races here. And it's to fail it 3 times, you know, for you guys is pretty rare, and it just unfortunately lightning struck today. But I mean, Eri, you had a just outstanding run after that. Like you closed
aside from that, and the RNG at the end, like I got terrible RNG. I had an insane run. Like Escape Eastern went great, but like I lost like more than 3 minutes just to that because my hero was really good. Aside from the fact that I had to do Fire Sword Molder, of course. Bob was really good. I had 1 extra buffer, and I got hit at the turtle because I boomed it instead of having him. But the rest was just so insane. My feedstone was super clean. I had like a bad moth, but then I got like a 5-10 desert, like out of nowhere.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah, see, I was really concerned, even with the lead that I saw that I had, because I've watched Eri play for quite a long time, and I've seen him on, quote unquote dead runs, just game the F out. And as I started bleeding time, like a minute in Meyer, 15 seconds Ice Pals, 20 seconds T-Rock, I'm thinking, Eri's going to put up the 652 GT, I'm going to put up the 723 GT, and then it's within like 3 or 4 blue balls. So I was still really worried when I started playing bad, because I know that, if anybody is just going to gold out all of their splits after a tough start, it would be Eri. So I was never really comfortable. Once that really catastrophic Meyer happened, I was never really comfortable the rest of the way. And I think that kind of played into how, I messed some things up from that point on too. And just knowing like, hey, he may be 2 minutes behind, but that can be, 90 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds really fast.
Yeah, I mean, like, when that happened, we're like, well, Buane pretty much needs an equal, like a Vidi death or a cold stir death or something along, ignoring like the hard locks, those kind of things. But like towards the end, it was like you didn't even need a major disaster. You just needed like to play like a little sloppily, which you did, and then have like a medium, like a Trinex death.
Well, Meyer was really, really bad. Meyer, like that's almost a minute lost in Meyer is what kind of made that all. Yeah. If it's just a plus 20 Meyer, whatever, that happens, and still, yeah, then I need to die to cold stare. So just don't die to cold stare, kind of stuff. But then I couldn't get any mirror reps, and you definitely almost died a couple times because there's just a lot of sloppy play. Some good splits, and actually after the escape, I was surprised by how good the early game ended up being. But then it really just kind of started slipping away. So not my best. I really missed a lot of inputs. Like Eri was saying, missing Kiki skip a bunch of times. Some days you're just not getting your buffers. Your 1 frame inputs just they're not working. And if they're not working in this run, a lot of stuff can start to add up to a lot of time.
Yeah. I mean, you almost died in Pokemon 1, and then Eri was walk at that moment. I was like, well, that would have been it right there.
Yeah, I kept looking. And I probably should have stopped once I saw like I have a big lead. I probably should have stopped checking, because every time I checked, I was like, okay, I'm 3 minutes ahead. Okay, I'm 2 minutes 40 seconds ahead. Okay, I'm 2 minutes 15 seconds ahead. Okay, I'm like just a little over 2 minutes ahead, and that was starting to get in my head. Like, I'm playing badly. He's still playing really well. Maybe I need to, I don't know what, like play better and take all the safeties. Like at least I got some comfy RNG at the end to, really. If Ag had started piling up the blue balls, because I saw Eri was like entering the Ag fight pretty shortly after mine wrapped up. But if I was at like 7-8 blue balls, I was really gonna start sweating. And then you go into the Ganon fight knowing like, hey, if I mess up Torch Glitch, this is like an even race or something like that. So definitely hard to race against somebody as good as Eri, even when you have a giant lead, miraculously like that.
Yeah,
he's just too good. He's just too good.
I really wish it were less lopsided, of course. Like, it would have been awesome if we just had a solid run going into Meyer or something, like the both of us, and then maybe like small stuff, maybe a missed mirror rep, whatever. But it's such a different race when you're just playing catch up the entire
Yeah,
time.
and I did feel bad like taking some of the safeties late. I was like, well, this kind of like against the spirit of the competition there or something like that. So and I've taken I think I've taken the GT Hearts in a couple of my bracket races, and it does kind of feel cheap, but I don't know. I guess maybe it's so much to ask for some of these races to be close. You know, we've had some close races in this tournament. It's so hard for this category to be close because mistakes, unless the mistakes are just, even if both players make, you know, the same number of mistakes, where you're making those mistakes can be just a giant difference in time. So
as evidence.
yeah, exactly. It's just like you fail. I guarantee I failed more one-frame inputs than you did in this run, and yours just happened to cost a giant chunk of time, whereas mine were just smaller chunks. And you know, that's one of the you know, things that you can't control about this run, whether you're running it or whether you're just hoping a race is going to be close. I mean, obviously nobody's deciding, you know, who's the better player, me or Eri, based off this one result. And neither of us played very well. And I can guarantee you, even if I had played really well and beaten him, he would still be the better player. So it's just a fun, you know, we're trying to have fun with the tournament, even from the very beginning of brackets. Whoever you lose to in this bracket is, you know, you can't really complain like, oh, I can't believe I lost to that player. So it's just been a lot of fun and get to take on Eri, even if neither of us really brought our A+ game. It was fun. The hour leading up to the race was a lot of fun. In my head, I was like, okay, I gotta actually play this game. If this was like 3 weeks ago, I was actually playing the game well, I would have, you know, had a little bit more confidence. I was trying to practice Citrus before the race, and it was going so badly. I get the 6 flat escape. I'm like, I'm not even going to be able to get into Eastern Palace. This is going to be a 40-second Citrus. I'm just going to have to forfeit, not ever seeing Eastern. And so that's what's going through my head. Like, 10 seconds, I've lost the race escape. It's all over. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun this tournament. And
I must admit, like, once I missed the third bomb, I was like, no, it was so hard to convince myself not to just forfeit, like 13 minutes in. Then I grabbed the bomb, go back, and it's like, fucked it up again. It's like,
I would not have held it against you in the slightest, man. It's just a testament to your mentality, the fact that you not only finished out this run, but played really, really well through a huge chunk of it. So kudos to you, man.
Also, that GT was really good. Aside from like Gauntlet had a few hiccups, but damn, it was. Wait, why did you just get a sub 7 GT? I don't know.
We got the 2-cycle Agate too.
God, if you didn't get the 2, I was gonna
gifted those patterns.
Yes, it did have a bit of a bow on it. Yes, but of course it's a GT where everything is, you know, I take the old man hearts. I can't get into GT because I can't hook dash. I get hit on the way to Ice Armos. Gauntlet was not good. Another 2-cycle Lanmo. Lanmo was pretty unfriendly to me today. But yeah, not really everything. Swamp was decent, surprisingly. A 353 with getting the chest of bombs, actually really damn good. But
really nice.
Yeah, everything after Hera was just not very clean, and you know, that happens too. Sometimes it's just one split that holds back your time, and sometimes it's like 7 splits in a row that hold back your time. You never know when you boot up AD.
Yeah. I mean, these matches, I'm gonna say, it's not so much if the ending's close, it's how long it's close for, just because, you know, so many splits can go poorly. So we all know, you know, this was, like I said at the very beginning, this was a match everyone had circled on their calendar, and just, you know, it's unfortunate what happened, but, you know, Eri, you played really, 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 really well down the stretch to keep it in contention. But yeah, so you're going to be playing the winner of Doomtap Zelda. I guess not where you expected to meet Zelda in this tournament.
No, but it's
you're wrecked,
you never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Zelda.
I would say that I'm actually still pretty confident going up. I mean, if I want to win a tournament, I would probably have to beat him anyway. So if it's going to be in the losers bracket, it's whatever. If I lose to him, it's whatever. I mean, then I lose to the number 3 and the number 1 in the tournament. That's like not surprising. But who knows? Maybe Doomtap beats Zelda. Who knows what happens? I mean, Doomtap is.
I was gonna say, Duck's showing Doomtap some lack of respect there. I've watched him a couple times in the last week, not even playing this category that much, and then just throwing up like 110 40s, 110 50s, 110
honestly,
paces.
I feel like it's a coin flip almost at this point for a lot of these races, because just all the runners are just so skilled at this point, and you know, as we've seen, this category is super volatile and anything can happen.
Yeah, but I was really surprised that something this catastrophic happened, because in the past months, I can't remember getting anything much worse than below 111. Like, if not for a helmet F, and the helmet F was the thing I was worried about. I was like, okay, fine, or maybe I'm all going fault, but this, I felt so consistent, and then yeah.
Really hard when it's not something that goes wrong ever like that. Yeah, like Miss Key skip, or you know, I haven't failed the mire to or Herod Swamp in forever, and I failed it twice in this one. It's like, what's even happening? Why can't I get these inputs? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the tournament that makes it worse. So I'm like, retries, like you fail it once, and you're like, okay, now this is bad. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose the tournament. It's all over, and like that just makes it worse on the second and third attempts. Which second and third attempts at things like that are so bad anyway. Like with mirror wraps, if I miss the first mirror wrap, it's almost 75%. I'm gonna miss the second one too before I can like settle myself down and slow down. So there, it's hard hitting 2 buttons at the same time, and this run's filled with 2 buttons at the same time.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And so, Buane, you're going to be playing the winner of Dow versus Andy, the plot armor division over here. So, any thoughts on those?
2 really good players. Dow is incredibly skilled at a lot of different things in this game. Andy is incredibly skilled at a lot of different things in this game. It's AD. Anything can happen. You know, it's been in that state for, if it wasn't already at the start of brackets, you know, 1 or 2 rounds into brackets, it got to the point where anybody losing to anybody was not really going to be that big of a shock. So if Andy beats Dow, not a shock. If Dow beats Andy, not a shock. If either of them go on to the winner's final, nobody's really going to be like scratching their head, how did that happen?
Really, I mean, honestly, since we got to the the top 12 like last week, they've all been coin flips. Like anyone could have beaten anyone. The stuff that happened to Ari could happen to anyone. You know, it's like we say, it's a very volatile category, and like we knew that going into it. We kind of leaned into it with the best of 1 here, at least giving the double elimination, so it's not just completely one and done. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be fun. Everyone who is left has 111 or better. Actually, Andy is the lone remaining 112.01, but he's obviously been on 111 and 110 paces. Like,
yeah, it's maybe Andy would have a 112, but I don't think you wouldn't call Andy a 112 runner. So
yeah,
I mean, Dow just got the 111 last run against Zelda. He had the 112 recently as well, but both. I mean, everyone left can 110.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be surprised to see a 110 from anybody. It may be surprising, like just from number of runs the people have thrown at it. But if Andy sat down and for the next month did 100 runs of AD, he would have 110, maybe even better. So it's just a matter of time for these players. And you know, if the tournament went on to infinity, everybody would have 110s. So, you know, skill-wise, nobody can say anything bad remotely about anybody left in the tournament, and specifically Dow and Andy. So it's just going to be fun. Like you said, Duck, I think the thing that has kept some people sane with this tournament was just kind of leaning into it. It's going to kind of be random. You don't have a lot of control over it. And just kind of try to have fun with it. You know, we don't do a lot of big community tournaments in the Link to the Past community, so when one comes around, you just try to enjoy it. And that's kind of been my MO, and I know the MO for some other runners too.
Oh, sure. Great.
We do have the Doom versus Zelda tonight at 6, and then the other 2 matches this week, Dow versus Andy tomorrow at 2, and Louis versus Kaz is at 6. So all those are going to be really, really close matches. Going to be really exciting. I wish both of you the best of luck. Ari, you're obviously still in this, with this being a winner's bracket match. I picked you to win out of losers, so all is coming according to plan.
Maybe you're the true prophet. Who knows? I hope so.
everyone thought it was Dow, but it was me all. But yeah,
That's the way
Ham,
it's supposed to go.
Ham, you got anything else for these guys?
All good. GG's.
So if you guys don't have anything else, we've definitely prattled on here for quite some time.
All good.
I guess we'll hand it back off to ZSR.
I would thank you guys for the call, but that's all. It was great calls.
The next dungeon matches were already announced. On this channel, in about 25 minutes, we have a Wind Waker tournament match. So we have to leave soon. And see you back in a few hours for the All Dungeon tournament. See you!